Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will explain one small Django project that is calculator. Let's start the features of my Django project of calculator. At first I am showing the features of my Django project. It is a very small project. At first I am explaining my navbar. It is the navbar where home and calculator appears, and I am opening the calculator. Here we can see the heading calculation of two numbers, and here first number, second number, and each two are text boxes, and here the four buttons comes in my page: add, subtract, multiply, and at last divide. Now I am showing the functionality. At first, when I did not give nothing, and just when I am clicking one button, just think I am clicking on the button add. Let's see, here one message appears in the page: all fields are required, because without values we can not perform the operations. So it shows the message all fields are required. Now I am giving values, and just I am giving it 200, and I am giving second number as 50. Then I am clicking on add. It shows the message addition of 250 is 250, because we know that if we add 250 then the result is 250. So it shows the message, and now I am perform the subtract. It shows the result of subtracting 50 from 200 is 150, because we know that when we subtract 50 from 2000, not 2000, 200, then the result is 150. So it shows this message. Now I am clicking on multiply. It shows 10,000, because we know that when we multiply 200 with 50, the result will 10,000. Now I am perform the divide. It shows the message division of 200 by 50 is 4. But we know that we cannot perform the division when the second number is 0. Just I am giving it 0, then see what will happen right now. Now I am clicking on divide. It shows that the second number should not be 0, but because it is very natural, because in mathematics it is not possible to divide any number with 0. That's why this message comes in my form, and it shows that the second number should not be 0. And when I am changing the value 0 to, suppose I am giving 100, and when I am clicking divide, the error message disappeared and the success message comes in the form, and the message shows that division of 200 by 100 is 2. So when I am giving 0, the operation is not performed, and instead of the operation it shows the error message. And here I also implemented one thing, that is, at first I am explaining the feature, then I will discuss it. The feature is when I am giving input in first number and second number just in negative, then after when I am clicking to the outside of the text box, just like this I am showing that, then it will be better. Just I am giving minus 50, and when I am moving the cursor outside from the box and I am clicking outside from the box, let's see, here we can see one message that the first number should not be negative, and it is also same. Just I am giving minus 20, and just in a moment I am clicking outside from the text box, then see the message shows the second number should not be negative. It is the feature which I implemented in my project. And again, when I will start giving input in the text box, suddenly the error message will disappear. Just see what is happening right now. I am giving input or editing input, then the error message disappeared. Now I am giving 100. Let's see. There is no error message, because 100 is a positive number, not a negative number. So this message disappeared from my page. And similarly, when I am editing or giving input, then similarly the error message will disappear. And now I am giving here 200. Now I am clicking outside from the text box. Let's see, there is no error message. Okay, that's all about my features. Now I am moving to the code portion. So I am opening the VS Code. It is a VS Code, and at first I am explaining the folder structure of my Django project as well as my Django app. And here, the calculator folder is the Django main project. Now I am expanding the folder Django project. Here we can see a lot of files. Underscore underscore init underscore 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 init underscore underscore dot py, asj.py, settings.py, urls.py, wsj.py. Now I am opening the most important file in my Django project, that is settings.py. Let's open the file. It is the file that is very important. Now I am moving one by one. At first, I am calling the waste module to perform some operations. So the waste module is required. Similarly, I called the module part from the path lib, and now I am moving to the portion install apps. When we added apps to our Django project, then we need to connect or install the apps to the portion of install apps. Without this, the project cannot detect the app. So here, the last line is the purpose of that. Okay, looks over here. Here, I wrote between the single quotation app underscore calculator dot apps dot app calculator config. What is the first portion? What is the first portion? That is app underscore calculator. It is what? It is the name of my app. That is this app underscore calculator. Okay. And now I am explaining this folder. And let's see. After dot apps, what is apps? Apps is one file under my app. That is this file. Now I am opening this. Looks over here. Here one is one class, that is app calculator config. And in my settings.py, I wrote that it is that. Okay. So the installed underscore apps portion is completed. Now I am moving to the next part. But if there is another app, we need to connect just after comma. Okay. Now I am coming to the next portion where I made change. Initially, between the third bracket, there was nothing, but here I connected the templates folder. Looks over here. Here is one folder, that is templates. What is the purpose of templates? Now I am discussing what is the purpose of templates. Now I am expanding the folder templates. Let's see here. Here are some folders. One file is based.html and the other folder is cal and include. At first I am expanding the include. Let's see, one folder, not folder, one file navbar.html is under the folder include. Similarly, under the cal folder, there are some files. Okay. Now I am expanding the folder cal. Let's see, here are two files. One is home.html for the home page. I am showing that it is for that. Okay. And the other is input underscore form.html. It is the purpose of taking input and it is just it. Okay. Now I am coming to the next portion. Actually, by this line, I am connecting the templates folder with my project. Without connecting this folder, the page cannot be accessible by our project. So this line is very important. Now I am moving to the next part where I made changes. Here, previously the front slash was missing. I added the front slash and this portion totally was missing. It is for static files directories. Here I wrote static files underscore dirs equal to between the third bracket waste.path.join, then between the parentheses base underscore dir, and then after comma between the single quotation static. It is very similar to the upper portion where I connected the templates folder with our project. Similarly, here I connected the static folder with our project. So it is same as the previous one where I implemented the template. So it all about the settings.py. Now I am moving to the next portion, that is urls.py of my project. It is that. At first, I am calling the module admin from the Django.contrib. Similarly, I called the module part and include from Django.urls, and between the URL patterns, I need to connect the URLs of the app, that is app underscore calculator. Okay, and here we can see that include and then between the parentheses app underscore calculator dot urls. And what is this? Actually, I connected the app with our project. Let's open the URLs of my app. Okay, now I opened the urls.py of my app, that is app underscore calculator. Here we can see a module call, that is at first I called the module admin from Django.contrib. Then I called the module part and include from the Django.urls. Then I called the views, and between the URL patterns there are a lot of parts for routing purpose. I will explain one by one. At first we can see part, then empty, then views.home, then after comma name equal to home. Actually, what is the purpose of this line? Actually, the first portion are added after localhost colon 8000 then slash, then the first part will appear in our browser. But at first, when I will open localhost colon 8000, then there will nothing, just it will show localhost colon 8000, and here it will open the page, home page. Here it's nothing, that's why there will be nothing, just it will open the home page. Similarly, add underscore numbers, when I will open this route, then there will be localhost colon 8000 slash and underscore number slash. Okay, so at first I am moving to the portion of views.py. At first, it will call the function-based view, that is home. So I am clicking here, and let's see. Here are two module call. At first, I am calling the module render and redirect from Django.shortcuts, and similarly, I called HTTP request, HTTP response, and JSON response from Django.http. And here we can see a lot of many function-based view. And here we can see the function-based view home, and we know that between function-based view, the request parameter is obviously needed. That's why I wrote request parameter. And here the request type is HTTP request, and it will give one response that is in the format HTTP response. And here it normally return a render. That means it's opening one page, return a render, then request, then cal slash home.html. But what is the purpose of cal slash home.html? Actually, the page home.html is under the folder cal. Okay, let's see here. So I wrote in this way. Now I am moving to the next route. Also, I am opening the urls.py. Here, normally it will change the flow of program to the function-based view, that is add underscore number. So I am opening this, and here we can see one function-based view, that is add underscore numbers, and we know that request is required, and here by default it will at first this line will work, return a render request and then cal slash input underscore form.html. Okay, so the page will be open. Now I am telling about this page. It is this page. Okay, and really this page. Now I am explaining the input underscore form.html. Before that, I need to explain the number and base.html. Then it will be very clear. But without explaining the two files, then it will be not totally clear. So I am moving to the file number.html. Okay, and it is very normal thing. It is for the purpose of number. What is number? And the number is the first portion, it is the number. Okay, now I am moving to the next portion. Actually, here I am connecting the home calculator with the URL home at underscore numbers. These are appeared in the urls.py just here, and these are the portion of the right side: name equal to home, name equal to add underscore numbers. Okay, so I am moving to the next portion, that is base.html. Here we can see that between the Ginger template I wrote load static. Static is the folder which contains JavaScript and CSS. It is the static folder. Here we can see two folders, one is CSS and the other is for JS. And between the CSS we can see one file that is style.css for giving style to our project. Actually, it will give style to our page, and between the JS there are two files. One is Ajax underscore script.js and the other is calculation underscore validation.js. At first, the Ajax underscore script.js for implementing Ajax, and at the last calculation underscore validation is for the purpose. Actually, I already explained in my browser. That is when I am giving negative number, and just when I am clicking outside from the text box, then it will show one message that negative number should not be allowed. Okay, it is for that. I will explain one by one. Now I am explaining it. At first it will load the static, then it is a very normal HTML form, and here I give the title as calculator, and then I connect the jQuery link. Okay, it is the link for jQuery, and then I am connecting the local JavaScript file called Ajax. That is this, and here I connected the validation JavaScript file in this way. Now this line is for connection for the Bootstrap CSS serial link. Okay, then here I connected the local style.css file. Then I include the navbar. Then normally it is one body, and here welcome to calculator will appear. And it is the serial link for Bootstrap JavaScript. Okay, now I am coming to the next file, that is home.html. At first the line loads the static, then it is for the title home page, and it is the blog body. And here I took one welcome message, welcome to calculator, and it is for some styling purpose. Okay, now I am moving to the next portion, that is input underscore form.html. At first we can see that between the Ginger template I have written extends base.html. What is the purpose of extends? Extends is used for inheritance purpose. In coding, it is not a right way to use a same code repeatedly. So here I want to use the features of base.html. So I did not write the same code again and again. That's why I implemented the extends for accessing the all features from base.html. Okay, and it is the purpose of this. And then load static. It is same as the previous. I already explained about load static, and then it is normally a title, and then between the body within the template. Here I took two div for styling purpose, and here I took one form, and I have given one ID addition form, and then CSRF token for the security purpose. And here normally it will show one heading for calculation of two numbers, and here it is normal a label for first number, and here input type equal to text, name equal to first number, class equal to form controller. I have given one ID for accessing it from the JavaScript, and required means it cannot be empty. Always we need to give a value, and then on blur equal to validate number. It is one function, and I will discuss this function after some time. On blur means just in the moment when I am leaving the text box and clicking outside from the text box. In that moment, this function will start work. And similarly, on input means when one error message comes in the form, and after that, in the moment when I am starting giving input, in that moment the error message will disappear and clear error will do that work, and I will explain after some time these two functions. One is validate number and the other is clear error. Okay, and then this portion also same as the first portion, and here I took another div, and here I have taken four different bottles, one for addition and the others for subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. And here I have given one div, and here I have given one ID MST. Actually, here the result of the calculation will appear. Okay, and here I ended the end block. Here I ended the block for body. Now I am moving to the portion that is the views.py. So at first when the function based view add underscore numbers will work, then at first it will work. So I have discussed it. Now I am moving to the Ajax portion. Okay, that is this, and here $sign in document.ready function console.log Ajax ready. When the page loads in the browser, then in the console it will show a message that is Ajax ready, and then this portion will not work. This portion will start work when I will click on the button of add. Okay, until I am not clicking on the button, then this part will not work. And when I am clicking on the button here, function between the parentheses event, I wrote event dot prevent report. That means it prevent the refreshing of the page, because here I implementing everything without refreshing the page. It is the purpose of that. Okay, and here I took two references, first number, second number, and I took the values from the HTML form. Looks over here, I have given name equal to first number, name equal to second number. I have accessed the values in the form of name. And looks over here, in every text box I have given the field name. Okay, in this way I am accessing it in JavaScript. Now I wrote const csrf middleware token equal to dollar sign between the dollar sign input name equal to csrf middleware token, then dot value. Actually, it is for security purpose, and here I wrote console.log first number, second number, second number. Actually, it is for initial debugging. If any error occurred, then in the console I cannot see the values of the first number and the second number. Then $.ajax URL at underscore numbers, then it will hit the URL in it. Okay, and then it will call the function based view, and method colon post, and data. Here I passed the data first number, second number, and csrf middleware token for the security purpose. Let's move to the views.py. Add underscore numbers. This function based view is working right now, and at first I have implemented the conditional statement if, and here I am checking request.method equal to post or not. When it is post, then I have taken two references, first underscore number and second underscore number, and request.post.get, and it took the values from the Ajax just from here within the data. Okay, and then I wrote if not all first number, second number. That means when I have not given the all numbers, then it will return one JSON response, that is status error message all fields required, just like this I am showing you. When I am giving nothing and click on any button, then it will show all fields are required. It is the purpose of this line. Okay, and here I do one reference, that is result, which is integer type, and here at first I converting the input to integer, then I performed the addition of these two numbers, and finally the addition value will be stored in the reference result. Then I am returning one JSON response, and here These are the key value pair, status, success, result, and I also passed first number and second number. Okay, and this line also I discussed previously. Now I am performing this operation. Just I am giving 100, I am giving 50, and I am clicking on that. It shows addition of 150 to 50. And now I am moving to the next portion. When I am clicking on the subtract button, then Ajax come just looks over here. When I am clicking on the subtract button, then similarly at first it will preventing the page reload, because here I have implemented everything without page reload, and here similarly it takes the value from the HTML form, and it is the security purpose, and it is the initial debugging. And here URL subtract underscore numbers, then it will hit the urls.py from the app, and then it will move to the function subtract underscore numbers. Now I am moving to the function based view subtract underscore numbers. Okay, I have opened the function based view subtract underscore numbers, and we know that request is very necessary in our function based view, and normally it will take HTTP request and it will normally gives HTTP response. And at first it will check if request or method equal to post, then first number and second number will be taken from the Ajax, and it is very similar. I already discussed in my previous portion, and result is very similar of the addition, and normally it will return one JSON response just same as addition, and these parts also same as the previous one, multiplication, division. But in division there is another thing, that is we know that when we want to divide one number with 0, that is not possible. So here I used this portion. Here I wrote if in second number equal to 0, return JSON response status error message the second number should not be 0. I am showing you, then it would be better. Just I am giving 0, then I am click on divide. It's one message that the second number should not be 0. But when I am changing this 0 to, suppose I am giving 20, then when I am clicking on divide, then the error message will disappear and the success message will come, and it's showing that division of 100 by 20 is 5. Now I am moving to the next portion, that is this portion. Okay, at first I am opening the input underscore form.html, and it would be better. Here I have written input type equal to text, name equal to first number, class equal to form and form dash control, id equal to first number, required. That means it should not blank. On blur equal to validate number. It is one function. This means when I am leaving the text box and clicking outside from the text box, then this function will start work. This is the function validate number. I will discuss it. And similarly, when the error message comes just below under the text box and I am starting giving input or make editing in my text box, then the function clear error will start execute, and it will erase the error message. So I am explaining it right now. So I am opening this file, that is calculation underscore validation.js. At first I am explaining the first function, that is function validate number. At first I have taken one reference, that is first underscore number underscore field, and I initialized it with document.getElement by ID between the parentheses between a single quotation first underscore number. Actually, it is the ID of the first number. Okay. Actually, it is the ID for the text box for the first number. And here the reference first underscore number underscore field holds the text box for the first number. Similarly, in the input underscore form.html, here one empty div, here also one empty div. It is the purpose of these two lines are showing the error message. Okay. I also accessed it on my JavaScript file. Looks over here, const first underscore number underscore error equal to document dot get element by ID between the parentheses number one underscore error. That means actually the reference first underscore number underscore error holds the div for error for first number. Actually, the reference first underscore number underscore error holds the div for the first number error. Okay, and now I am coming to the third line, that is const first underscore number equal to number then parenthesis then first underscore number underscore field dot value dot trim then parenthesis. At first I am explaining what is string. If by mistake we give the values with some extra spaces, then by the function trim the extra spaces will be removed. So the purpose of trim is this, and then we know that to perform the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the values should always number. If it is text or special characters, the operations cannot possible. That's why I am converting the text to number at first to make the program smooth. So at first it will removes the extra space from the input, then it will convert the text to number to perform the operations. Okay, and then these three lines each very same as the previous three lines. Now I am I have taken one flag that is valid, and initially I initializes it with the boolean value true, and at first I wrote first underscore number underscore error dot inner html equal to blank. That means when I want to check the condition, at first the error div should be blank. So at first I am clearing the div. Then I am coming to the next portion, that is if first number less than 0, when the first number is negative. Then here I have written first underscore number underscore error dot inner html and initializes with the span. The first number should not be negative. Actually, in the first div for the error, it will appear, and it is same as for the second number, and after that I am returning the is valid. If the condition breaks, then the value of the flag is valid will be false, but if everything is okay, that means is valid will true, and it will return either true or false. Next I am coming to the next function, that is clear error, and I am passing one parameter, that is id. And here I have written document.get element by id, and I passed the argument id and then dot inner html equal to blank. That means when I am giving one negative value, then after that when I am clicking outside of the box, then one message will appear that the value should not be negative. But after that moment when I am starting giving input in that text box, then the error message will disappear, and this function actually doing this work. Just I am showing this, then it will be very clear. When I am giving -100, just I am clicking outside from the text box. Looks over here, one message, the first number should not be negative, and it is same as the first number. Just I am clicking outside of the box, it shows the second number should not be negative. And when I am giving input or starting editing, just see the error message disappeared. And when I am giving positive value and I am clicking outside the box, there is no message because it is positive, and it is also same for that. Okay, and this function actually doing this work. Okay, so these are the codes, and one thing is left, that is style.css. I have written some code in style.css for giving some style to my project. Okay, actually these styles are implemented by CSS. That's all about today's video. Thanks for watching.